I just want to quickly show you guys an article that a black woman posted on Facebook and what she said, her comments. She said, facts, shaking my head. What happened to black history though? Because you see the title of the article, and this is an old article because she's used to posting old articles, outdated articles. But no information is really outdated. It's just history. The time that we're living in today. It says New Jersey to require schools to teach LGBT history. And then it says schools in New Jersey must include lessons about political economics, so on and so on. My response to her was black folks switch sides and is now rooting for the gay agenda. So when it comes to Black Lives Matter, now the only time Black Lives Matter, in my opinion, is activated is when other groups politically want to get things done and they need the support and the energy of the so-called black community. Then Black Lives Matter will come out. Black folks would do the legwork. They do the grunt work. They're the forefront people, frontline people to get things riled up. CNN and all the other Trump-hating media will come forward and they would report on that, and then they would get their agenda, and black folks are pushed back into the ghetto. Nothing's happened, right? They're still struggling. They're still crying and protesting for rights. And all of their rights, they relinquished them. They gave up their rights. They decided to band with other groups that don't have their best interest at heart. They teamed up with them to help them with their agenda, but yet no one is helping them with their agenda. They're told that you have to do for yourself, right? So black people, the so-called black Americans, switch sides. There's no such thing now as Black Lives Matter. There's the political group Black Lives Matter that want to get other people's agendas pushed, and they use black people. They push black people to the forefront to get it done. And that's all. That's all black people are really worth nowadays. But when it comes to the so-called black history, it no longer exists. Black people switch sides. The civil rights movement has been taken over. So when they talk civil rights and civil rights movements, they're not talking about black people. They're talking about women's rights. They're talking about the gay agenda, and they're pushing that really hard. So like I mentioned in videos of the past, I think this is much, much, much higher than our minds could ever imagine. And I might do a video on that, but this is more than what we see. So feedback, tell me what you think, but black people switch sides. You can't count on black people to push agendas that's in favor of the black community. When it comes to the future of young black children, their future is now in danger of becoming obsolete because there's no one that's really protecting the children now. Because the so-called black Americans switch sides and they're pushing the gay agenda, they're pushing abortions, and that's why, and I'm cutting into another video that I had in mind of doing, but that's why we hear of cases now where so many babies and children are being murdered and being sexually abused and molested and raped. But there's no cry out to protect the children. And that has been taken away. The protection of the children has been taken away because now people have become desensitized. The abortion bills and everybody rooting for abortions and everybody's protesting for the right to murder an unborn child and even children after they're born. So now the hearts have grown darkened. They become desensitized. And now children, in most cases, have no protection. They have no rights. So if a child is sexually molested or raped or murdered, the person that does the crime gets very little time, if any. And if it's a female, she gets no time, because she comes with a sob story about how hard it is. And you have to understand what it's like being a woman. So when it comes to Black history, it's now obsolete, and it's been replaced with the LGBTQ XYZ 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 community and abortion rights. So feedback, tell me what you think, subscribe. Until next time, I'm fearless.